Hello, everyone. Welcome to Enhancing Education with Vibe Coding Community College Edition. I am your trainer and instructor for today, Emmy Hernandez, and we are going to be going on Emmy's wild ride, a quick 15-minute boot camp on vibe coding. Y'all ready? All right, let's do this. I believe in you. You got this. All right, so a little bit about me, just very briefly. I have my communications degree from UC Berkeley. I have been doing learning and development for over 15 years. I have trained tech entrepreneurs in the US, Mexico, Uruguay, and Tunisia. I've been a program manager for the National Science Foundation for Grants for Innovation. I've been featured in Forbes. I've spoken at VC conferences, and I'm also certified with IBM for AI literacy. And I've also had the honor and pleasure of working directly with AT&T Foundry, Citrix, Lyft, and Microsoft on innovation and design thinking. So I've been around the block with a little bit of tech entrepreneurship in Silicon Valley, and now AI is our new big thing. Isn't it so fun? Let's get into it. Let's go into some of these details. So what was one of the problems that I faced and what we're going to be discussing here today? So as an educator, training entrepreneurs and community college students, I kept running into the same wall. My students had brilliant ideas, but no way to build them, at least not cost effectively. Hiring a developer cost thousands of dollars and months of time. Most students gave up way before they even started. I needed a way to turn any student into a builder without requiring them to learn code. That's when I discovered vibe coding. So what is vibe coding? Vibe coding is building a functional web or mobile apps using natural language, no traditional programming required. What powers it? Large language models that understand your intent, generating working code from plain English descriptions. What it replaces? It replaces years of programming training, turning any motivated person into a builder, regardless of their tech background. So the old way is slow and tedious and very costly, and the new way, fast, empowering, and free or low cost to entry. So why this matters? It matters because we are lowering the cost of experimentation. Number two, we are creating faster validation for business ideas. And number three, which is my absolute favorite, we are democratizing the ability to build. I believe AI is in this beautiful space right now where we are opening up the doors for true equity for those communities who had been traditionally disenfranchised. And now is when we flip that on its head. No more are we being held out. So the vibe coding workflow works as follows. First, you have the idea, and then you talk to an LLM where you do AI prompting with natural language, and then there's an iteration loop. Okay, this is an innovation loop. Just like always, you have an idea, you prompt, you build, then you refine, you test, and you repeat until you get something that you absolutely love. So my favorite part is we can go from ideas to working prototypes in minutes, my friends. It used to be where it would take months, if not years, and thousands of dollars. And now, poof, that's out the window. The future of innovation is every student is a builder. Now, prompt engineering works this way. The skill that makes AI work is communication, okay? A prompt is the instruction you give to an AI. The quality of your output depends entirely on the clarity of your input. Example of a bad prompt, make me an app. What? If you just told that to someone, a new intern starting at your company, they wouldn't know what to do with that, right? They would know what an app was, but they need some more context. Context clues. Context is king and queen in prompting. A good prompt is an example as follows. Make a simple app where the user picks a job like fast food worker, cashier, or retail associate, and app turns into a strong professional resume bullet points. Keep the writing clear and short. Ooh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. So why the good prompt works? It specifies a user action, it defines a format, and it sets the tone and length. Now we're going to get into, I'm going to show you some of these slides and then we're actually going to finish with the slides and then build together. Does that sound good? Awesome. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So we're going to start here. I'm just setting the basis. We're going to be working off of Lovable.dev. It's one of my favorite vibe coding platforms. There are others, but this one is my favorite. So you can see here, it kind of works just like ChatGPT if you've been playing with ChatGPT. But this one is, you start off in this middle area, okay? So I'm going to show you a prompt that we're going to be building called the Resume Rockstar. We are going to make a simple web app where people can select some basic job features. And then that's going to help them build out some really cool resume bullet points. I don't know about you, but when I was first starting, I had my first job when I was 16. I worked at a jewelry store. I was also a sandwich artist at Subway. And let me tell you, oh boy, would this app would have come in handy for building out my resume because a lot of the skills that we have in high school and community college, a lot of those skills are transferable. But aren't those bullet points hard to write? Oh boy, this makes it a lot easier. All right. So I'm going to show you a quick screenshot and then we're actually going to go, I'm going to show you live. All right. So this is a screenshot. So I want you to be able to keep this because this is where it starts building. The right side is the preview of what you're building. The left is the instructions you're giving it. And then it's talking back to you so you can have a conversation with the AI. And then when you're done, you hit the blue button on the top right that says publish and it'll give you a link and you can share that with others. So I had to show you this, okay? So I have a real world example from one of the American literature professors from one of the community colleges I work with. They gave me this amazing idea. They had this idea that they wanted their students to interact with the actual characters that they're reading. They're reading Mark Twain and Langston Hughes this semester, and they wanted to have a conversation with them and actually hear their voice. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So it's AmericanLiterature.ai. It is so cool. I'm going to be showing that when we go to the live build so you can see exactly how it works. So this is just an example of how we can use it in different ways. So we're going to be building the resume rockstar and also talking to historical figures. So here's one of my pro tips. Okay, so pro tip is before you go into Lovable, you ask ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, whichever is your favorite tool, to give you a lovable prompt. Okay, so here's one of my favorite examples is based on what you know about me, help me come up with 5 web app ideas. I will select my favorite, then write the prompt for Lovable. Okay, so if you'll feel to grab that, you're gonna have that. I'm gonna give you that here as well. So you can have that on the slide. So very important before we move forward on this, and you need to understand this is critical. AI has its limits, and that's okay. Okay. AI hallucinates. If you haven't heard of hallucinations, is AI can confidently generate incorrect information like stats and data unless you tell it that it needs to be accurate. All right. Always verify your important outputs before using them. Privacy, never, ever, ever enter sensitive personal information like passwords, social security number, private student information, anything that is meant to stay private, especially government documents, never put that into AI, please. Also, it's important for you to know that AI is biased. Very often, AI is trained on human-generated data, which can reflect human biases, whether they're conscious or unconscious. They are there, and we're working on that through some more of the models, okay? AI requires human oversight. AI is a co-pilot, your co-partner, right? Not an autopilot. AI is your collaborator, not your replacement. So what I learned throughout this process before we go out into the next, we're going to go build this, right? So AI is a multiplier, not a replacement of you. It amplified what I could teach. It didn't replace my expertise as an educator. The human element is still the most important ingredient. The prompt is a skill. So communication is going to become the number one skill as we're moving forward into this, not software engineering. The quality of your output is only as good as the clarity of your input. So if you're a good manager, a good leader, you're going to have fun with prompts. But if you are a poor communicator, you're going to struggle a little bit more. But it's okay, you can get better. Prompt engineering is a new literacy for the AI era, and anyone can build. When you remove the technical barrier, students stop asking, can I do this? And start asking, what should I build next? Awesome. So now it's your turn to vibe code. Let me show you. Let's build some stuff live. You ready? All right, let's do this. All right, let's get into our screen. So I'm going to show you Amlit first. How cool is this? Okay, so on the Amlit, I'm just going to show you real quick how it works. And so here you want to have a conversation with Mark Twain or Langston Hughes. These voices are free from the web, from wherever Lovable got them. So they're not going to be perfect, okay? But the idea is there. The idea is it's capturing some of this information from Langston Hughes. I'm just going to play just a little bit for you.
Good evening, friend. I'm Langston Hughes. I've spent my life trying to capture the beauty, joy, and pain of.
How cool is that? You can also ask Langston Hughes, what was the Harlem Renaissance like? And submit that. And you can ask your authors more questions. So I'm just so excited. This professor is actually using this in this upcoming semester, and we're going to be adding more authors. And they're just going to be having an absolute blast. So what an exciting time to learn, right? Look at this. Like, oh, it just brings in all of this, and then you can have an audio conversation with your favorite author. I just think that's absolutely brilliant. And I'm so happy that this professor decided to use this and had such a great idea to build this. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to go into your actual Lovable slides. All right, let's do this. So remember that prompt from earlier. Okay, so on that prompt from earlier, I told you we're going to make a simple web app. I'm going to put it here in chat for you. So there you go in chat. You got it? Okay, perfect. All right, so that way you can copy and paste this, and you're going to be able to grab this, and you're going to see and put it exactly here. So remember, I'm going to show you the beginning. So we're going to go over to the very beginning. We're going to go to home. So this is where you start. Okay, so you start here. Apologies, I had something. Apparently I was working on something else and forgot about it. So you're going to start here, and this is where you're going to paste that prompt. Okay, make a simple web app, and we're going to click that. Now it's going to start working on it. Okay, so you can play with this. You can change any elements you like. I'm going to go back to the one that I already created so I can show you that one, the resume rockstar, and show you just an example of how it shows up. So this is one of my favorite things to do here. Okay, so over here on the preview, you can see how it looks like on a computer, on a tablet, or on mobile. This is very critical, okay, because a lot of people are going to be using this link on mobile or in other devices. So as an example, let's just say I was a fast food worker at Subway. Okay, Emmy needs help. What are my transferable skills? So it's got some bullet points down here. I delivered exceptional service to 200 plus customers daily in a high volume, fast paced environment while maintaining order accuracy of about above 98%. Wow, I actually did do that, but there's no way I could have written something that nice. I trained and mentored 5+ new team members on operational procedures. That one I didn't do because I was only 16 and I didn't do that good of a job. So I never made it to management level. I went off to college after that. Let's see, what else did I do? I maintained strict compliance with health and safety regulations, consistently achieving top scores during quarterly inspections. I did do that. I made sure that we were keeping up all of our health and safety regulation standards. That was important to me because nobody wants to mess with your food. I didn't want my food messed with. So they're like, how cool is this? Like operated a point of sale system and handled cash transactions totaling $3,000 per shift with zero discrepancies. I did do that at 16. How crazy is that? But I would have never come up with such cool bullet points. So now from here, you can copy them all, put them onto your document, put them onto your resume, and then go from there. How cool is that? So now the best part is you can go over here, you can hit this, and it asks you some, I already published this one, but it's going to ask you some super simple questions, and then you're going to publish, and then you're going to get a little link that you copy, and you're going to do continue, continue, then you have your URL. How cool is this? All right, you're seeing it happen. You're seeing it happen live. We're vibe code. We're coding together. We're coding. We're building. We're coding. We're building. Okay, yeah. All right, it's publishing. You're seeing it happen live. Let's see if it's done. It's thinking a little bit. Sometimes it does that. It's very normal. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's a little bit slow, but don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong. All right, here's our domain. Check this out. Ta-da! So you can literally just send this link to anyone and they could use it on their mobile, on their computer, wherever you like. How amazing is that? All right, everyone. Great job following along. It has been an absolute pleasure working with you. Told you this was going to be a crazy wild ride on vibe coding. It was an honor to work with you. I look forward to seeing you on future training. Bye-bye.